All right. Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is Manny Rodriguez with Tacobout Live with Frank and Manny here in good old Del Rio, Texas. And so this morning I got with me. Let me see if I can put him up on the screen here so we can do a split screen. There's Frank right there. He's traveling. How you doing, Frank?
Hey, good, good. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah. I can hear you. I can hear you, brother. And
All
and
right. Good
so
morning, everybody.
I'm gonna do a split screen here with you and I. And so let me see. There I am. All right. So let me do this here. And there we go. All right, now we're both on screen together. And so Frank is traveling. You're on your way to Houston or someplace in Texas, right?
I got a couple places, bro. Yeah, San Antonio, Houston, points in between, meeting with a lot of interested people. Manny, it's primary season. And right now, folks are realizing that if we're going to change the course of our nation, if we're going to have an impact on the direction of our nation, it's going to have to be because people jump into the arena, Manny. And they're all across this great country of ours. People have awakened. They see that the socialist Marxists want to destroy our nation. And they're in bed, brother, with liberals, the establishment, the cancer within the Republican Party. And so we have to stand up as conservatives, as patriots, and take back our country. So I'm meeting with a lot of people that know we have a message, that know that we're in trouble, and they want solutions.
No, and I agree, brother. I agree. I mean, we need to get involved. We need to make our voices heard. I mean, there's a lot going on. Let me explain real quick because on our description of our program, we were going to have Bianca Gracia on with us this morning. We got word that she wasn't feeling too good this morning, so we're going to reschedule with that. So right now, it's just going to be me and Frank today. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff here going on our border, of course, in the state of Texas and all across the United States of America. How it's affecting us as United States citizens, as Texans, and Frank, I think I believe you're exactly right, brother. We need to get involved, not only to go out there and make your voice heard, like with a podcast, broadcast, whatever, knocking on doors, and things like that, but actually getting involved in the political arena, right? Take all the
Oh,
necessary steps. Yeah.
oh yeah, brother. And as soon as we retired, we jumped into the fray. We jumped into the fight, Manny. I retired a little bit before you. I jumped in as campaign manager for conservative Texan and Republican Raul Reyes, and we came within a hair's breadth, bro, of defeating the liberal wolf in GOP clothing that's in the Republican Party, Tony Gonzalez, brother. And people need to jump in because they realize that if we don't call it out, if we don't hold people accountable, if we don't expose the enemy from outside and the enemy within, we're in trouble. And so that's why, Manny, you and I, we've been hosting Republican candidates
Yeah.
to our area now for several months. With the Haitian invasion and people visiting our area, Alan West and other notable speakers under my champions. Remember that conservative heroes, advocates, mentors, and patriots impacting our nation. We have been impacting our society, our communities, and we got to hear people from all over the nation, Manny. You and I in our broadcast, we're telling people the truth. We're letting them see it with their own eyes.
Yeah.
And sure, you know how it is. That old military adage, bro. When you're over the target, you're gonna take flak.
Oh yeah.
And so people
Oh yeah.
wonder, yeah, people wonder why we're coming under attack is because we are over the target. We have and we're dropping truth bombs on them, and
Yeah.
they don't like these truth bombs of ours, bro.
Yeah, and they're gonna retaliate, and they're gonna retaliate with all kinds of false accusations
Yeah.
and assumptions and conjecture and whatnot.
uh, Outright lies and slander, bro. Outright lies and slander. There's one particular hit rag that's out there, spreading lies. It's all editorial stuff, but they call it journalism. But you know what? These hit rags are out there. They're liberals masquerading as conservatives, and uh, Democrat Tony Gonzalez in CD23 is one of those people that's doing that, Manny. But there's many others. Everybody knows Texas Monthly's gone liberal for
Right.
years now. There's other liberal rags, and so when these people are, and I'm talking to our audience, when they're putting stuff out, you need to balance it, and actions speak louder than words, Manny. And you and I, along with many conservative warriors that have come our way, we're out here spreading the truth, brother. We're trying to create awareness and tell the American people about what's happening in our country.
And I think it's important. As primary season is coming up, you gotta vet your candidate. You gotta vet your candidate. You gotta look at their record and what they've done since the beginning. When Tony Gonzalez came into office, first of all, one of the biggest mistakes he did was vote for the January 6th commission. In my opinion,
Oh
I
man.
think that completely betrayed the Republican Party. He stabbed Trump in the back, President Trump in the back. And then goes and tries to, and then he not only tried, but he succeeded in petitioning the Biden administration, to fly illegal aliens out of Texas at the taxpayer's expense out of Laughlin Air Force Base, right? And then now he continues to want processing centers, right, which only encourages illegal immigration, and then supporting these
Yeah.
NGOs, which are who are facilitating the furtherance of illegal immigration. And and then he has the audacity to come out and try to say he supports Border Patrol, he supports our border security, when he's actually doing the complete opposite.
Oh yeah, remember, brother, the infamous fake agent from his primary run where he used the fake fraudulent agent, a guy in a border patrol shirt, and try to pose him off as a real agent, bro. Anywhere else that's impersonating an officer. Anywhere else that's a crime, brother.
Oh yeah.
But Manny, uh, it's a problem that's bigger than Tony Gonzalez in our district here. Look, I just read a couple of news stories about the money that is flooding establishment candidates right now, brother, in the state of Texas. The establishment, the elitists, the people that have been in control in our state for decades now, they know that there's an awakening, there's a rising up, and so they're standing up and standing in the way of conservatives, of patriots, of constitutionally minded folks like myself and others. And they're in the pocket of a big pharma as well. I just read a report where Mitch McConnell, brother, is one of the leading persons, the senator, the minority leader for the Republicans in the Senate that has received the most money from big pharma,
Wow.
pharmaceutical companies, brother. And man, as you think about the state of our country, illness, disease, you got to wonder, man, somebody's making money off of it. Somebody's making money off people being sick. Somebody's making money off people not being cured, even though there's probably valid treatments out there, Manny. There's people that are dying for the sake of making money from these big pharmaceutical companies, brother. And so not only are they in the back pocket of big pharma, and we can post that information about Mitch McConnell and his money that he gets from these companies, but also here in Texas, brother, the gubernatorial candidates, Huffines, West, Prather, they're in a big fight against Governor Abbott. And it's been disclosed now for several months, brother, that Abbott, Phelan, and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick have been getting money from the gender modification crowd,
Wow.
the gender mutilation crowd, brother. The people that are taking our young boys and young girls in our society, in our communities right here in Texas, and they're mutilating them, bro. And our leaders, Republican leaders, have been involved in taking money from these entities. And that's why Republicans like myself, brother, are outraged. And we're taking strategic moves, making those moves that we got to move because it's bigger than party, Manny. It's bigger than loyalty to the party. It's bigger than, what I call myself, whether it's a Republican or a conservative. I am an American.
Yep.
We're constitutionalists, brother.
Yeah.
We believe in the Constitution. And George Washington, in his farewell speech to the nation, he in essence said, beware of factionalism, beware of factions, that would put party over principle, because that's what destroys and divides our nation. It's when people are more loyal to a brand, to a party, than they are loyal to the Constitution, to our nation, to our Judeo-Christian values, brother. And there's great compromise by our Republican leaders as well, Manny. And I have a lot of friends. I mean, look, I've always voted Republican, but there comes a time when you have to do a strategic move. We have been infiltrated in the Republican Party. We have liberals, Democrats like Tony Gonzalez. And so we got to do what we got to do to take them out, because they're a big threat, not just to the party, brother. They're a big threat to our national security. They're a threat to our Constitution, our way of life, bro.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, Frank. I agree with you completely, brother. That when we look at his history, in regards
Yeah,
to the country's security, it's evident, brother. It's evident. All you got to do is
yeah,
just follow the money. I was looking at some of donations that he received throughout the years and even last year. And I found one on there, and I was going to try to print it out. I need to print it out and post it on
yeah,
our website, because one of the donations that I saw was from a company that's associated with Pfizer, and which is amazing to me.
yeah,
Because a lot of Democrat politicians are receiving a lot of monies from Pfizer. And
yeah,
so it was just interesting to me. And people need to understand that this border crisis is still ongoing. Just over this
yeah.
New Year's Day weekend, Del Rio sector had over 2,200 illegal aliens come in, just through our sector alone, and the majority, and then I forgot, it was like 20 something smuggling cases as well, and the majority of them were paper cased, unfortunately, for my
Wow,
five
bro. So you said 2,200 this weekend?
this weekend. Yeah, over the weekend,
Wow, bro.
2,200. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, folks saw me out there going live from a couple places here in Del Rio, bro. And one of those places, I drive there basically almost every day, and I would see the National Guard troops out there, and right now they're feeling this cold, brother. Right now, these National Guard troops, the DPS troopers that are out here, they're feeling this bitter cold.
Yeah.
They've got them in these senseless, inefficient locations, receiving, welcoming the illegal aliens as they come across the river, turning them over to Border Patrol. But as I was driving by, I saw heightened activity near the port of entry, just downriver of it, Manny,
Yeah.
where I hadn't seen that level of activity. And I was thinking, this is the slowdown time of the
This
season.
is
Remember, it used to slow down.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and now you think about it, we have turned the corner because they start coming across for the new year. They're going to come looking for work. It doesn't slow down. But hey, let me go back to that. You tossed out a little bone, brother, and I don't want to let that bone go just yet.
Yeah.
About Tony Gonzalez and the pharmaceutical money, big pharma money that Tony Gonzalez is getting. Look, in our country right now, a lot of people are waking up to what's happening with keeping people sick, Manny.
Right.
And there's when you keep people sick, when you keep them hooked on medications, relying on meds to live life, somebody is profiting from that. And so Republicans, so-called Republicans, they're not conservative. They're not God-fearing, that's for sure, because they are not just aiding and abetting this human trafficking, this sexploitation of women and children, but they are aiding and abetting and keeping people sick, or they're keeping them hooked on medications. Their hard-earned money going towards medication, when the ones that are really profiting the most are the big pharmaceuticals. And politicians have found a way to, like you said, in the past, Democrats were very much affiliated with that.
Yep.
But this report that I just read over the weekend, Mitch McConnell, our Senate minority leader, and other Republicans are reaping off of other people's misery, other people's problems, brother. And that's shameful. That's shameful for us that are God-fearing and call the Republican Party a moral party.
Oh man, I agree. It was amazing to me, Frank, is I think that's one of the big reasons why President Trump, why so many on both sides of the aisle couldn't stand President Trump when he was in office, because he couldn't be bought by big pharma. He reduced monies. He reduced costs for insulin. He reduced costs for other prescription medication. From what I understand, and I read a while back, that Pfizer actually lost like over $6 billion during his administration, and all of a sudden, coincidentally, amazingly, they're the number one producer of the vax, right, under the Biden administration, and recovering somehow.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, brother. But like we said, man, follow the money, man.
Yeah. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do is follow the money, and you can go to what is that FEC dot, what is it, FEC.com?
Yeah, the Federal Election Commission, bro. Federal Election Commission, and just type in candidates. Look for your candidate, and then you'll see the map of Texas. You'll see CD23. Click on that, and it's going to tell you who's in the race, and click on those persons, and you get to see, how much money they have on hand, what they've raised, And then if you drill down in there, you like you did, you'll find who donated to them. I saw Antonio Gonzalez. He took money from Planned Parenthood, brother.
Wow,
He
man. Wow.
received money from Planned Parenthood. It's on the FEC report, and so you know, uh, you get a person like Gonzalez, and not just him. These really infiltrators in the Republican Party. They have infiltrated. They're liberals. They're progressives, brother, who all they're in it for is the money. They think about it. Why is it that these people come into office and within a few years, man, they're making millions, man, they're making millions. So
Yeah.
we need tough people, tough Texans, principled Americans that are gonna go there and they're gonna hold on to their integrity, to their morality, to their values, brother. They're gonna hold on to them for dear life because you and I, we worked in Washington.
Yeah.
You walk into that city and you feel the spirit of darkness in that nation, in that place, brother.
Oh yeah.
The same way you feel it, and it's a spiritual principle. These are centers of power. They are spiritual strongholds, and so anybody that's seeking office definitely needs to be prayed up, needs to be full of the Holy Spirit, needs to be armored up in the armor of light, because those are dark places. But right now is not the time to cower, Manny. It's not the time to hold back, be afraid. It's a time to do like David did and look for those stones and say, "Where do you want me to fling this stone, Lord?
I mean, yeah.
What's the giant? What's the giant you want me to take down?" And there's plenty of giants in our country, and we need fellow believers, constitutionalists, conservatives to stand up, get in the fight.
And if anything else, just get the word out about certain candidates. You find a candidate that you may be interested in, vet them. Him or her. Find out where they're from, where they stand. Like this morning, we were going to be talking with Bianca Gracia. We're going to reschedule with her hopefully next week or the next couple weeks
Yeah.
coming. I was really impressed with I looked at her website, studied her website over the weekend. Border security. Constitutional, carry, and for our rights, censorship, as well,
Yeah.
fighting against censorship, which is huge right now. There are people being kicked off of Twitter. There are being people kicked off of Facebook. Our broadcast is limited on boosting levels, right? Because of things that we're saying, things that we're speaking, because
Yeah.
we're speaking the truth.
Well, Manny, and I'm shifting the shade here. Thank God I got one of my sons here driving, man. But Manny, uh, persons like Bianca, and I hope she's doing well. Things come up, and I hope that she's doing well. She's going to join us at a future date. But you're right, man. Find your candidates, vet them. Who are they associated with? What are their affiliations? Who are they getting money from? And when you start looking at major corporations, you need to research them. Research also the thing that's going to happen right now, Manny, in primary season. People's mailboxes are going to get flooded with mailers, and so what you're looking for is the source of the mailer. Who sent that message to your post office, to your home, your box at the house. Who sent that message? What candidate are they pushing? And go research organization, because see, there's not only does a candidate raise money, but the candidate also benefits from PACs. Now, there's not supposed to be any communication between PACs and candidates, but the PACs know the message that they have bought from their candidate. The promises they've bought, the pledges they have bought through donations, and so then they go and mail out, beneficial mailers to these people. And for instance, down here in CD 23, mailboxes are getting flooded with messages promoting Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And it's from an organization called the Libre Institute. The Libre Institute. That is a progressive open borders movement that actually was bro. They actually had a Libre initiative in the Republican Party. The Libre Initiative, where a progressive guy by the last name Behar was running that, was involved with that. Everybody knows Rafael Behar
Right.
is a liberal, a moderate guy in the Republican Party, part of that San Angelo crowd. Folks, there is a remnant conservative element within Bexar County, but Bexar County is a swamp. It's a uniparty to a certain extent. Democrats, Republicans, you can barely tell the difference in Bexar County. There are some conservatives, and they're coming out, brother. I've been talking to a guy that's running independent in Bexar County, man. He's running independent because he sees the politics of Bexar County. We can talk about that. We can get him on the air, and we'll be talking with that gentleman. But these mailers, bro, like for instance, this Libre Institute, they're mailing out of McAllen, Texas, down south, and it's all about Tony. But they're also affiliated with another group. I think it's called People for the American Way, something like that. We'll post that up. But the Libre Institute, you look at that mailer, Manny. I'm sure you've seen it. It says that they will fight to reduce amnesty backlogs. They will combat amnesty case backlogs. So what is that saying, bro? You know, it's saying they're gonna flush the system. They're gonna push them through as fast as they can.
Yep, and actually a lot of people don't realize that that's what happened during the Clinton administration as well, when we had this flood of illegal immigration, illegal aliens that had come through, and amnesty. You know, the word of amnesty came up. They canceled it. However, they purged the system, and then when they purge the system, that means they just basically cancel out all these amnesty cases or all these, illegal immigration cases, and basically everybody just kind of runs free, and I think that's what, and it happens most of the time during a Democrat administration. These legal aliens get the word that, hey, and that's why I think these candidates keep throwing out that word every so often during their campaigns, amnesty, and maybe we're looking at amnesty, we're considering amnesty, and for me that's like a signal. Go ahead and come on over. And then we'll cancel amnesty, but then we'll purge the system, right? And I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but that's the reality. That's how it works.
And there's precedents, bro. Remember, look, under Clinton administration, temporary protected status was granted to Central Americans that were hit by a hurricane down there,
right?
And they're still here, bro.
Yeah, they're still here.
Yeah, they're still here. Of course, and what happens is you create different groups of people at different times. Ronald Reagan, Republican, 1986. Remember IRCA, immigration reform, and so what happened was basically amnesty to people, amnesty for people that were in the country. There was a lot of uproar, a lot of anger about that, and so right now, that's why people don't talk about the number one solution, the number one issue, Manny, border security. Stop the invasion. Stop the invasion of people, because then you create a new class of people, a new group of people that at some point or another politicians are going to be saying, hey, if you came in, during 2021, we're going to create a special class for you. And then you get not only Democrat legislators, but you get liberals like Tony Gonzalez, open border liberals like Tony Gonzalez, brother. In that same brochure, it says that we need sensible immigration reform. Sensible immigration reform. That's code for amnesty.
It is. It is code for amnesty. And then they sometimes use the other words. A pathway for citizenship. Again, that's another pathway to citizenship. Pathway to citizenship. That's another code for amnesty. And again, it usually happens during the Democratic, administration. Democratic administration. I'm reading some of this Libre initiative, and I kind of like the way they started out. It's kind of, on the sly. Great things are possible when immigrants and non-immigrants have the freedom and opportunity to work together to build our nation. Folks, illegal immigration does not build a nation; it tears it down.
It doesn't.
It tears it down. It is not beneficial to the nation. A lot of people think, oh, well, they're just coming over here to work. When I first joined the Border Patrol back in the '90s, we had a lot of guys a lot of illegal aliens coming over here, mainly from Mexico, coming over here to find work, and then during the winter months they would go back, and whatnot. It was kind of like a cat and mouse game, But now it's a lot of people still think, Frank, that it's mainly Mexicans that are coming across illegally, but the reality it isn't. There's a lot that are coming through around, but those are the ones with the criminal records and whatnot who don't want to get caught. It was interesting. I just read a report the other day that almost all of the sex offenders that Border Patrol has arrested and apprehended and trying to deport have committed offenses here in the United States. So they're all priors, right? Yeah. And then now we have a lot of these OTMs, and interesting, this Libre initiative that I'm reading. they're talking about a lot of these, aliens that are fleeing their nations or their countries, right? Their countries of origin to build a better life. But the reality is, like the
Yeah.
Haitians, they haven't been in their country of
Yeah.
origin for more than 10 years. The majority of these
Yeah.
Haitians, right? And so, what country are they fleeing? You know, a
Yeah.
lot of, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, bro. Go
No,
ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say because a lot of them were already building lives in Central America, South America. A lot of their children are going to school. I'm talking to a lot of agents who actually feel sorry for a lot of these Haitians and a lot of these other, illegal aliens that are coming through because they feel that they're invited by the Biden administration, which in essence they are, and people like Tony Gonzalez, that are encouraging, illegal immigration, and they're giving up their livelihoods in these other countries to come over here, and they're getting dropped off in other states in the middle of the night under cover of night, and not having any place to go because then these NGOs are encouraging them to go to these certain states rather than a place where they can build a life, and so they're just getting dropped off basically in a lot of these red states, to tell you the
Oh
truth.
yeah, and Manny, it's terrible what's happening. The pull factors, the magnets that not just the Democrats, but liberals like Democrat Tony Gonzalez are using these magnet factors, brother. Manny, Tony Gonzalez used Laughlin Air Force Base as a magnet for people to come through. The other magnet was the readiness of the NGOs to facilitate their movement into the country. And of course, the biggest magnet was Biden saying, we got a green light, come into our country. And so that's why, like this Libre Initiative, Libre Institute, it was actually being run within the Republican Party. And no bones about it, Manny. There is a civil war within the Republican
Oh
Party
yeah.
where conservatives like myself, constitutionalists like myself, see the writing on the wall. And what's transpired here in CD 23 is that the unit party out of Bexar County, we're going to be naming names out of Bexar County, people like the Chairman Allen and SREC members like for one, Stanko. These are people that we're going to be talking about their involvement in Bexar County politics, which has a tremendous reach throughout our region, Manny. Why was Bexar County not audited? Why was Bexar County one of the biggest counties in the state that was not audited? There's reasons for that. Part of it is because it impacts 3-4 congressional districts.
Wow.
And so there were shenanigans out of Bexar County, and people there know. I'm in communication with folks that live there. It's going to come to the surface, but like this Libre Institute was the Libre Initiative. I remember first reading about it, and they go around. We actually had it brought up at an executive committee meeting for the Republican Party in Del Rio, Valverde County, bro, where they said, "Oh, we're helping people when they're taking, they're going through the naturalization process. We help them with the civics courses." That was the foot in the door. But if you dig down, start peeling back the layers on it, Manny, it's what you're finding out on their website. They're talking code for amnesty for certain groups of people, DACA being one of them.
Yeah.
And these other classes that are being created. God only knows about the children, God, the ones that are not being, abducted and used for sex slave and the child labor.
Yeah.
But what are they going to try to do for these unaccompanied alien children that are coming by the thousands, bro? The thousands. They're going to try to create a class for them as well. And so it's very synchronized, bro. It's very meticulously being put into place. And so Republicans, conservatives, constitutionalists like us, we need to wake up to the games they play, the playbook that they're using. And
Right.
we need to be strategic, almost a military-like minded, Manny, in the way that we counter the civil war within the Republican Party.
Yeah.
But bigger than that, the Marxist takeover of our country, bro.
You're exactly right, bro. You're exactly right. I mean, I've been talking to some people over the last few days. Some other retired law enforcement as well. And as I'm looking at their website, being a part of the Border Patrol for 25 years, and you 30 years, we recognize the language that people use when they're trying to push amnesty. Because I've heard it all before, ever since I joined the Border Patrol. These code words, these phrases, these triggers. like this one. We need to modernize America's outdated, ineffective immigration system. Frank, I've been hearing that since the '90s, brother. And again, that's a way of saying, amnesty, of preaching
yeah,
amnesty. Because
yeah,
we have laws on the books that are enforceable. The Trump administration proved that
yeah.
our laws could work.
Yeah, and the Libre Institute, the Libre Initiative, which was the initiative was a part of the Republican Party. For a while they had it on their webpage at RPT. Since then I've looked for it; it's not there anymore. But people know that it was a part of it. Anyways, what they're doing is these efforts like the Libre Institute, but also Manny, outright efforts like the one by everybody knows useless, worthless John Cornyn, who
Yeah.
teamed up with Manny. With sorry about that, bro. You're gonna have to slap me later on. Who teamed up with Tony Gonzalez, Henry Cuellar, and, uh, and and Senator Sinema out of Arizona
Wow.
to build at least 4 mega asylum processing centers. It says right there, at least 4. But you're right, bro. When they talk about we have to modernize this, outdated immigration system. Yeah, what they want to do is build mega processing
Yeah.
centers, which in this case, if they build minimum of 4, would quadruple the speed of people invading our country, people coming into our country. I've talked to retired ICE agents, retired DHS program managers, brother, executive level personnel within DHS that know that these people don't qualify for asylum, but under
Yeah.
Alejandro Mayorkas, who was a service, service, what was it, the Citizenship and Immigration Services director under DHS, bro, their job was to
Yeah.
get people into the country. And when he's a liberal, you want to do it as fast as
Right.
possible.
And
You don't want to
he was
cross your
for
T's.
sanctuary cities, right? Or no, Magnus, right? Or
Well,
what was it?
Magnus, the new commissioner of
Right.
Customs and Border Protection, which caused a lot of concern, of course, within the law enforcement crowd. He was actually even Tucson, personnel came out against him, and the
Wow.
Border Patrol Council, the Border Patrol unions out of Tucson said this is terrible. Magnus, the commissioner of Customs and Border Protection, which oversees Border Patrol, is a pro-sanctuary
Yeah.
city advocate, man.
Yeah. And
You got
yeah.
literally the wolf in the hen house.
Did you? And you heard? I don't know if you heard what he said the other day, right? What he was telling agents, you're not doing this for the money. You're doing this job because you care, right? And if you don't care, you need to go look for another job, bro. All that is like code word for code word for like, hey, let these people in.
Yeah.
Don't worry about our laws. Really, you're doing this because you care,
Yeah.
because of the human factor, that's the humanitarian factor that's in this. I tell folks, I all the years that I worked in the Border Patrol, I never once felt, that. How do you say? I never once denied compassion or empathy, to those who are coming across. They're human beings, and I looked
Yeah.
at them as human beings. However, we have laws. We have laws
Yes.
that are in place. A lot of people don't realize that Mexico has stricter immigration laws. Central America has stricter immigration laws. There's just the only difference is that there's a lot of corruption, right, on those borders. And people pay to come across, and enter those countries illegally. But I remember giving food and money to illegal aliens so that they could eat. So they could. I remember even going to the store. Stopping off on the way to the station, stopping off at a store, buying blankets. I even
Yep.
bought diapers a couple of times for their kids, out of my own pocket.
Yep.
So it's not that agents don't care about the
Yeah.
humanitarian situation. We care about our country and the security of our
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, and within context, bro, for the audience, that was a time when yeah, you would buy some food or whatever for them, but they were turned over to ICE,
They were
bro.
turned over to ICE.
And
Yeah.
ICE would house them, and some of them would be deported. Now,
Yeah.
if there's a legitimate claim, if there's a legitimate cause for asylum, that's why we have a system in place. But right now, Manny, what we're seeing is that a lot of people don't have legitimate claims. They,
No.
they don't meet the criteria. And so from Biden to Mayorkas, in charge of DHS, to Magnus, uh, Customs and Border Protection, which is in charge of Border Patrol, and even to the anger and disappointment of many, even Chief Raul Ortiz in the Border Patrol, brother. Uh, it's the system is broken, but when the system is broken, you don't just throw your hands up and allow the invasion to continue. You got to fix it, and in order to fix it, you got to get fighters for the American way, fighters for America first, fighters for Texas first into every conceivable office, man.
Yeah. And it's illogical. I mean, but it's illogical. I mean, both you and I were in the military. You're in the middle. You're in the middle of battle, and you don't. All of a sudden, you don't turn around and say to your fellow soldier, "Hey, these policies are terrible, man. Before we go fight, before we defend this front, we need to change our policies, right? Let's go back to garrison and let's change our policies. No, you fight, you enforce the policies that you have in place at that present time, and then lessons learned, because in the reality, like I said earlier, when Trump came into office, he proved his administration proved that our laws work, and that's all my whole career. That's all I've been telling people. When people would ask me, are you for the wall? I'm for the wall, but I also know that our immigration policies and laws work if they are enforced, and Border Patrol agents and ICE agents are allowed to enforce those laws. They work.
Yeah. They work, bro. And man, you said a couple of things there. I need to jump on fight and lessons learned. Fight and lessons learned. Look, when you're in a fight, brother, and I've used this analogy, that movie, Saving Private Ryan, the German guy upstairs that's trying to kill the American, and the cowardly American in the staircase that does nothing. Look, what he should have done is jump in there, bash the dude's brains out, and save his fellow American. We are in a fight, Manny.
Yeah.
But you have to be strategic. You got to be smart. When you only have a limited amount of ammunition, you have to be wise about the way you use your ammunition. People say, "Hey, Frank, you're contemplating an independent run." I submitted the paperwork. I was not booted, fired, excommunicated from the Republican Party. I submitted my paperwork, which is the American way.
Right.
It's a process within Texas to set myself up to run as an independent in March. Why, Manny? Because lessons learned. That's the second thing you said. Lessons learned. The primary process is rigged right now.
Yep. You're slowing up there, Frank. You're slowing up. I kind of got you on freeze frame right now.
There?
Yeah, I think you're coming back.
I'm coming back.
Yeah. Okay, you're back. You're back.
Yeah. I should have warned the traveling audience, or the audience with us. I'm traveling. There's a couple of dips in the highway here.
Yeah.
But anyways,
and Frank is not driving, for you people who don't,
I'm not driving. Here's my other hand, bro. I'm holding. For the Karens out there and the snowflakes. Anyways, brother, look.
But I want to say real quick, Frank. But that doesn't qualify you as a rhino. People will come out and say, because you filed as an independent. I'm kind of glad we're talking about this right now. I'm glad you broached the subject, because people who out there calling Frank a rhino, that doesn't qualify him as a rhino. A rhino is a Republican in name only. Like Tony Gonzalez. If you look at Tony Gonzalez's voting record, his actions, with the January 6th commission, the money that he got and the support that he got from LULAC. The petition to the Biden administration to use Laughlin Air Force Base to fly illegal. Those are rhino actions.
And Manny, I don't even call Tony Gonzalez a rhino, bro. He's a Democrat, flat out. Tony Gonzalez is a Democrat who infiltrated the Republican Party, and people know. Look, I'm gonna start calling him Liz Cheney Jr. Think of Liz Cheney. Wyoming, would you vote for Liz? Resounding no. The people of Wyoming, brother, have censored her. They're not going to vote for her in Wyoming. Why? Because they know she is a screaming liberal inside the Republican Party. We have them all over the place. Bexar County is full of screaming liberals inside the Republican Party. And Tony Gonzalez is a liberal, progressive, LULAC, open borders guy in the Republican Party. His actions show it. We're going to continue, showing the proof. We're not going to make this stuff up. It's in his own words, it's in his own actions, and it's in his voting record,
Yeah.
Manny, by the way.
And a lot of it's on video.
A lot of it's on video, but if you look at the voting record for Tony Gonzalez, brother, he's, I think, like the second most liberal guy in Congress, man, a Republican.
And
we're going to show that voting record too, man.
And I'll tell you, if I went in on any Democrat, if they're like 99.9%, conservative on every issue, but as soon as they receive money from Planned Parenthood, they're out of my. I'm not voting for them. I can't.
And we got the screenshots, bro. He received money from Planned Parenthood. If you go right now to FEC, look it up. It's all there. But what I was saying earlier, Manny, about being strategic, the primary process is rigged. The word is out in Texas. Don't give money to America First conservative page. The word is out, brother. The donors know that. The consultants know that. There is a cabal against America First candidates.
Yeah.
And so what's going to have to happen, as is the case with me, going to have to be a national fight where Americans, brother, of every creed and color and tribe, brother, realize that we are in a fight for our survival. And I
think you're going through another.
And America First need people to pitch in, even if.
Yeah, you're going in and out there, Frank. I just want to explain to the audience real quick. I know it seems like we're really focused on Tony Gonzalez this morning, but and for good reason as well. It's amazing to me because as we've been looking, as soon as you filed, Frank, it's amazing to me that he's focused on you. He has people. He has people running against him in the primary, right, in the Republican Party.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and the way he's doing it, bro, his best friend down in Eagle Pass, El Vendido, Victor Wheeler, which means the sellout, Victor Wheeler. He says he's a journalist, talks about ethics and integrity, but he himself took money from Tony Gonzalez. He doesn't say that, but we have the records. Isaac T. Ruiz, the rising Texan out of Eagle Pass, I'll be doing an interview with him tomorrow, Wednesday night, has exposed the connection between Tony Gonzalez and Victor Wheeler, El Vendido, who is the editor-in-chief of the Eagle Pass News Leader. And he is married to the director of Mission Border Hope, who is running illegal aliens out of Eagle Pass, Texas. Do you see the connection there, Manny? What happens is you have the compromised, the liberal Democrat, Tony Gonzalez, who is getting cover the flack that I'm receiving because I'm over the target. He's getting cover from Victor Wheeler, who is the editor-in-chief of Eagle Pass News Leader, who says he's a journalist. He has no integrity. Those stories he ran on me, he never even called me for my take on that. But then they're both running cover for Mission Border Hope, the NGO that is moving illegal aliens out of Texas, along with Verde Border Humanitarian Coalition, along with Catholic Charities, Annunciation House, Endeavors, Baptist Child and Family Services. Brother, they're making millions. And so what they're doing is they see I'm a threat. They know I have the truth. They know that the people that I have been talking to have awakened, Manny. They have awakened. They know I'm speaking the truth. And that's why I'm getting the flack. And all I would say to those people that have doubts, listen to what I'm saying. Why are they attacking me so much when he has two Republican opponents in the primary?
Yeah.
Why is he not saying anything about his Republican opponents?
Or really,
why is he not
even the Democrat opponent?
Even the Democrat socialist guy that's going to continue Biden's policy. He is not even saying anything about the Biden socialist Democrat that's already been in the race for months now, Manny. But the day I threw in the likes of liberals in the Republican Party, like the vice chair of the Republican Party, Kat Parks, brother, they went into a tailspin. Why? Because they know I threaten the status quo. We are done with their games. We're done with the games of the sold out establishment Republicans. We're here to disrupt. We're here to take back our party. We're here to take back, more than that, our country, Manny.
Yeah.
Because we are in danger. And so that's why I'm taking coverage, taking flack. I am over the target, and that's the way they do it. That's a template, and you're going to see that.
Yeah.
Tony Gonzalez will use the cover from Vendido Wheeler, who poses to be a legitimate news source, who is covering up for his spouse, the director of Mission Border Hope, who is moving illegal aliens into the country because they want to discredit me, and they want people to doubt my integrity. They want people to doubt my passion and my seriousness, my resolve to fight for Texas, to fight for America, brother.
And you know, and I'm glad, well said, Frank. I'm gonna hit the. Let me see. There you go. And I mean, hit it again. The applause button there. But the reality too is, Frank, is that you know it's amazing to me that you're the one who's front page news on that Eagle Pass news leader when the facilitation of illegal aliens, you know, through NGOs, that should be the front page news, right? I mean that because
what should,
that should be you know at the front of news headlines. You know, all these illegal aliens that are coming through and being facilitated through NGOs, as well as human sex trafficking and human trafficking through these NGOs as well. But yet, because you supposedly, you know, got booted from the Republican Party, that's front page news, right? But border security isn't.
And look, bro, I'm still working with the Republicans. I'm still talking with Republicans. I'm getting emails from Republicans, phone calls from Republicans. People in CD 23 know the truth, Manny, that Tony Gonzalez is a liberal Democrat. His voting record shows that. We will be, in the months coming, we will be posting all that information. People will see with their own eyes. But you're right. Why is the Eagle Pass news leader not reporting on human trafficking, child sex trafficking? Because Victor Wheeler is vendido. He is sold out, taking money from Tony Gonzalez. But more than that, his wife is a director of Mission Border Hope. He is defending his friend Tony Gonzalez because Tony Gonzalez is in on the scam to move people into our country. Remember, his office is in the Endeavors facility in San Antonio, one of 3 major corporations to get no-bid contracts from Health and Human Services to the tune. I just saw another report, brother, up to $3 billion that has been given out by Health and Human Services.
Oh my goodness!
And Endeavor's got $2 billion. Part of the $2 billion with 2 other companies, bro.
Wow.
So Tony is in bed with the NGOs. He's best friends with the husband of a director of the NGO in Eagle Pass that you know as well as I do. Right now, Eagle Pass is the hot spot, brother. Normandy, Quemado, those are Eagle Pass station, area of responsibility. And so they wind up, they get caught by Eagle Pass agents, and they wind up at Mission Border Hope in Eagle Pass. And that's why they're attacking me. Because we are here exposing the truth. Let me get some shade here. Okay.
And then at the same time, you know, with all that money, you know, I think we mentioned a couple shows ago that Endeavor is going to be looking for some property, you know, along here in the border, and they're going to need a pathway right through a congressman, right? Depending on what type of property they need to get, right? So they're going to need a way made for them.
There's certain processes that go into play, brother. Part of that process was when Congressman Mike McCall, he's up north, bro, northeast. Anyways, Mike McCall sent a letter of endorsement to the the contract manager that was going to be dealing with the handing out of these contracts. So Republican Mike McCall sent a letter of endorsement to that person saying Endeavors is great. I endorse Endeavors, is what he said in that letter to endorse him, bro. And so consequently, Mike McCall, one of his staffers, Evan Albertson, comes over to Tony Gonzalez as his campaign manager. And remember, Tony Gonzalez is in the Endeavors facility in San Antonio. They're all in bed together. That's why I say they are in bed together over there, and they're in bed together in Eagle Pass. Tony Gonzalez, his best friend, editor-in-chief Victor Vendido Wheeler of the Eagle Pass News Leader, who is married to the director of Mission Border Hope, moving people. That's what they do. And then the other element that they do, and Manny, you'll see it, and we're going to expose this as well. They get fake Facebook personas like this Ann Trevino that's running around. It's funny. I was looking at that. The only person sharing that hit is a person Trevino. If you
Yeah,
look at that
I lost you
person,
I lost you for a second. She said she's sharing the headline, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
the only person sharing that headline is this fake persona, Ann Trevino. This person is posting it all over the different Facebook groups. But if you look at Ann Trevino, has also been a girl named Megan, has also been a girl named Valerie Ann Thomas. It's the same person.
Wow.
And it's probably Tony himself because because we know that Tony's a coward, bro. Tony Gonzalez, the liberal Democrat congressman in City 23,
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
coward.
I mean,
We have invited him.
the whole time he was running against Raul was running against him, right?
Yeah,
He declined debates over and over again, or he
he
just wouldn't even
declined
show up,
debates.
and sometimes he wouldn't even
He
show
wouldn't
up
even
at
show
all.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left Fernando Garcia, the now he's the SREC guy. He left him planted twice for a town hall in Del Rio and for a debate against Raul. Uh,
Yeah,
he just left Fernando. Tony Gonzalez is a coward, bro, and he's a person of no morals, very low morals, man.
you know, and it's amazing to me, Frank. You know that he supports these NGOs, and folks, if you're out there, reason I take such heartache with these NGOs, folks, is because they are making a lot of money off of illegal aliens, right, and off the backs of illegal aliens, and also in human trafficking and sex trafficking. Yeah, and yeah,
Sex trap. Yes.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
And what's amazing, Frank and I, you and I have talked to gubernatorial candidates who are currently running for office, Republican gubernatorial candidates who are opposed to these NGOs, right?
Yes.
And who are opposed to these NGOs. And here's Tony Gonzalez, a Republican who's supposed to be supporting Republican candidates, right?
Yeah.
And we talked to Alan West, and Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, and I loved his idea to revoke or rescind these licenses until they can be properly vetted, right, to see what they're doing and all the monies that they're receiving. And
just like DeSantis.
Yeah, just like DeSantis. And so, but yet Tony Gonzalez, who's supposed to be Republican, is supporting these NGOs. And folks, that is encouraging the facilitation of illegal immigration. In my opinion, I believe that these NGOs are nothing more than travel agencies for the cartels. They're basically the cartels and their social organizations. The NGOs have cut out the middleman for them. They don't have to look for smugglers, right? They don't have to look for drivers, right? People. I'm saying we see kind of the same operation that we've seen smugglers do, right? They go to the gas station, they round everybody up, right, and load them up in cars and take them. It's amazing to me, Frank.
It's legalized smuggling, bro. I mean that's what it is. It's legalized smuggling. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're going. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's some dips here. Yeah, it's legalized smuggling, and our government sadly has become efficient at moving smuggling people, Manny.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible situation because women and children are being trafficked. Women and children are being lost. They're losing track of them. Women and children are being raped.
Yeah.
Women and children are being murdered, bro. And Tony Gonzalez and his crowd say that I'm not a Republican. Look, I'll tell you, if Tony Gonzalez and his crowd is the definition of Republican, then that's a sad state of affairs, bro.
It is a sad state of affairs.
Anybody that's defending Tony Gonzalez and slamming me, because I'm running as an independent. I'm running as an independent, Manny, because the system is rigged. And what we were talking about earlier, when you have ammunition in battle, you have to be smart with the way you use your resources. And right now, the primary process, hey, there's two people, and they can go beat them. Great, go beat them. It'll save me some headache there. Depends on who wins. But anyways, bro, the thing about it is, this is the way we take out an infiltrator, brother. We run a military-like operation where I use strategy to give Texans a choice in November between a socialist Democrat, a liberal Democrat RINO, and I'm not even going to call him a RINO anymore. He is a Democrat, Tony Gonzalez, or a true conservative, constitutional, patriot American, brother. That's a choice. All these people that talk about splitting the vote, that's a straw man.
Yeah.
There is no splitting the vote when moral Republicans, when constitutional Republicans, vote for me. When conservative Republicans, vote for me. There is no splitting the vote. It's not even an issue.
Yeah.
It's a straw man. It's a straw man that they're trying to scare people with, Manny.
Because if the Democrat gets in office, there's no difference, right? There's no difference between him and Tony and what Tony Gonzalez would do.
There's no difference. They're both socialists. They're both open borders. Tony Gonzalez is an open borders LULAC plant within the Republican Party.
Yep, and then if you look at these organizations that he's in bed with, I mean, the facilitation of illegal immigration should be news enough for people. All you have to do is investigate these NGOs, and it doesn't take that long. It doesn't take that long. I mean, I've gone on their websites. I looked at their lingo. You see where their money's coming from. You see how they operate. It doesn't take that long. And I'm going to tell, there are a lot of people who are part of the religious community that work for these NGOs, that support these NGOs. And I'm going to tell you from the heart, you are part of the problem if you are helping and assisting these NGOs in the facilitation of illegal immigration and illegal aliens.
What I would say to Manny is people need to think outside the box, brother. They're locked into the little gerbil wheel, inside their cage, and that's all like a fish in an aquarium. You've got to think outside the box. If you're a person of faith, a Christian, and you're helping these NGOs, brother, they are myopic. They are only looking at one issue. Oh, I gotta feed them. I gotta clothe them right now. The big picture is this is a pipeline for the cartels. This is a pipeline for human smuggling. Why is it that Texas is the #1 state for sex trafficking in the nation?
Yep.
Because of organizations and politicians and the cartels that are moving people. All we have going on right now is legalized smuggling, brother. You and I, we're talking to retired Border Patrol agents, active duty DHS personnel. They know this is legalized smuggling, and it's legalized human trafficking, legalized sex trafficking, bro.
Yep,
and that's terrible.
It's terrible.
As Texans, we should be outraged.
Yep, we should be outraged. We should be continually writing to our local leaders to put an end to this, like DeSantis did over there in Florida. Stop the operations of these NGOs, until they're properly vetted, but they got big money, and there's a reason why they have big money. These cartels and smuggling organizations really don't have to go out and I'm going to tell you real quick because we got 2 minutes. I've been talking to a lot of agents as well, Frank, in all these smuggling cases, and people think that they're getting prosecuted, and the agents are telling me no, they're being the majority of them are being paper cased. And for those who don't know what paper casing is, basically you just write everything down, you record the events, what had happened, you charge the whoever was smuggling. However, they get basically returned or released and let go. None of them really do any jail time. Oh, you seize their vehicle. Their vehicles are getting seized. Right, but what is that? And so, but the reality is, a lot of these smugglers are not doing any time. Go ahead.
No, they are being released, Manny, and that's when you said that the paper case, man, we hated that, brother, because there were times where we had a good case, but it just didn't meet the threshold for the AUSA, the Assistant United States Attorney, and they got their reasons, etc. But they are paper casing now a lot of the coyotes, the mules, the drivers for these loads, man. And we're seeing it not just getting caught on the highways and endangering children in school zones and down Main Street, Carrizo Springs and Brackettville and the towns of our district. It's not just happening there. We're seeing it at the river, Manny, where these smugglers are bringing people over, and National Guard and DPS are doing nothing about it.
I know, bro. Back in the day when we used to catch guides, that was a big thing, right? We catch the guides, we'd prosecute them. Now these guides, it was fun. But now these guides are telling these guys, "Hold on, I got another group coming. Can you just wait here?" That's ridiculous, bro. So it's like these smuggling organizations are actually dictating illegal immigration. It's incredible. But anyway, Frank, we got to close, brother. I really appreciate. I feel like I was interviewing you today, man. So that's pretty awesome as you're on the road. So you be safe on the road. And when you get back, we'll talk more about what's happening with your run.
No, sir.
And
take care.
Yeah, I was at the checkpoint, bro.
Hey, all right, man.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so you know, as we continue on, when you come back, we'll discuss a lot of things more, and hopefully we'll be able to schedule Bianca Gracia. For those who weren't able to join, she wasn't able to join us today. She felt under the weather, but you can go to her website, biancafordtexas.com. Check out our website. We have a website, tacoboutitlive.com as well. Go to our website, visit us. And folks, we want to thank you so much for joining us here this morning. We had a lot to talk about, and God willing, next Taco Tuesday we'll have even more to talk about. But Frank, we're going to sign off, brother. And,
yes, sir. God bless you.
God bless you, and you have a safe trip, brother.
Oh yeah, and just real quick, hey, follow me on U.S. Border Patriot. And tomorrow night, Manny, Wednesday night, I will be with the rising Texan Isaac T. Reese, TRT, on his show, and we'll be talking about South Texas politics. We'll be talking about the invasion, human trafficking, sex trafficking, and how we have corrupt, liberal Democrats who infiltrated the Republican Party, like Tony Gonzalez. So it's going to be a lot of good information for people, man.
We'll make sure to turn in tomorrow night, and we'll put that on our link as well. We'll share it on our page as well, so that way you can watch it if you haven't subscribed to the Rising Texan. So anyway, Frank, God bless you, brother. Be safe, man, and hope to see you again soon here in back in Del Rio. God bless you, brother.
I'll talk to you soon, brother.
God bless.
Bye.
All right, folks. So I want to thank you so much for joining us here at Talk About It Live. Frank is like I said, he's out there traveling, and he'll be back here hopefully this weekend. Then you'll be joining me again on Taco Tuesday. So folks, I want to just thank you so much for being a part of our program this morning. And again, we were supposed to have Bianca Gracia on with us, and it didn't work out. She wasn't feeling too well, so we're going to reschedule with her. And so again, thank you for joining us. But make sure to go to our website, tacoboutitlive.com. You can email us at tacoboutitlive@gmail.com as well with your questions, concerns. Make sure you subscribe to our Facebook page. We're also on Rumble. Or you can go straight to our website and check out our live stream as well. And we have some past videos and broadcasts, or you can download our podcast. That's going to be available on Podbean and Spotify and Amazon Music here later on today. Or you can just download it directly from our website as well. And then you can listen to us wherever you go. And so, folks, again, I want to thank you so much for joining us here. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your support as well. We do have a donation button as well. Please visit us. Help us out. We want to continue to bring you news and information here on the border and how it affects us as Texans, as Americans, as constitutionalists who love our country. Folks, thank you so much. And I want to say God bless you, God bless America, and God bless Texas.